So I want to compare the budget but impressively spec'd Blu Bold N3 with the flagship Apple iPhone 15. So this is an interesting matchup of comparison of specs because the Blu Bold N3 is competitively priced below $300. You can get it fully unlocked on Amazon, and depending on when you get it, it might be on sale. It might be between $200 to $300, but it definitely is budgetly priced, unlike the $800 iPhone 15. And there are some very surprising features that make it actually better than the iPhone 15. And let's run through them. So both of these devices were released in 2023. The Blu phone is actually around the same weight as the iPhone, just above 6.3 ounces. Build quality is really nice on the Blu phone. It has a glass front, aluminum frame, and glass back. So the glass back really makes it feel really nice in your hand. So it's gonna feel just like the iPhone with the glass back and the aluminum frame. Very nice. The SIM card situation on the Blu is actually better than the iPhone. You get dual SIM connectivity, nano SIM, so you can put two different SIM cards in at the same time. And again, this phone is fully unlocked, so that's very easy. The iPhone, on the other hand, is eSIM only here in the US, so it's a lot harder to swap out SIM cards and swap out phones. So it's a big one for the Blu right there. There's no real telling what, if any, if there's dust and water resistance on the Blu phone, which the iPhone does 6 meters for 30 minutes IP68. The display is a big win for the Blu phone because it has a AMOLED 120 hertz refresh rate screen versus the iPhone 60 hertz screen. So yeah, that's one big pro feature that is lacking on the iPhone at $800, and you could find a very nice refresh rate on the Blu phone. That's a feature that's typically found on the iPhone $1,000 price range, the Pro ones. The Blu also has a bigger screen at 6.8 inches, so lots of screen real estate, with very small bezels because it has 90% screen to body ratio versus the iPhone's 86 screen to body ratio at 6.1 inches. Resolution on these devices are almost the same, just a little bit better on the iPhone at 461 ppi versus the 1080 display 388 ppi on the Blu. Software is lacking a little bit on the Blu phone, which is Android 13, and it's probably going to be stuck on that, while the iPhone will get 5 years of upgrades, and it's currently sitting at iOS 17. Chipset on the Blu is a MediaTek Dimensity 7050, which translates to pretty much mid to lower end performance versus the iPhone's flagship A16 Bionic. For the storage, very surprising. Here, the Blu phone has 256 of onboard storage, while the iPhone has half of that at 128. So that's a really big, meaningful spec right there for the Blu phone. Also, the Blu phone has 8 gigs of RAM, while the iPhone has 6 gigs of RAM. So those are pretty nice features on the Blu phone, but there's no SD card slot. But with that amount of storage, who needs expandability right there? Now for the camera setup, the Blu phone has 3 cameras on the back, iPhone has 2. The Blu phone has the main camera, the ultra wide camera, and the macro. iPhone has the regular camera and the ultra wide, and both shoot in 4K. Now it's safe to say that the iPhone is going to generally take better video and better pictures because it's best in class. The budget Blu phone, it'll get the job done. Let's just put it at that. Nothing spectacular. And both of these selfie cameras shoot in 4K. So that's actually pretty impressive for a budget device, having 4K selfie camera. And neither of these phones have a headphone jack. Both phones have NFC. That's basically used for payment, so that's nice to see that there. And for charging, both of these phones have USB Type-C, which is new for the iPhone. For unlocking the device, the Blue Phone uses under the display fingerprint reader, while the iPhone has Face ID. And for the battery, the Blue Phone has a bigger battery, 4700 milliamps versus the iPhone's 3300 milliamp battery. So you got a bigger battery, and it's safe to say you got a longer battery life on the Blue Phone. But the thing that stands out in this category is charging speed. The Blue Phone has a 66-watt wired charger, and you can charge the phone from dead to 139 minutes. So that's crazy fast. It trumps the iPhone 15, which gets 50% charged in 30 minutes. But the iPhone does have wireless charging, which is not found on the Blue Phone. And it also has reverse wired charging, which I don't think a lot of people are going to use. But if you want to charge another device, and more specifically, more than likely, you're going to charge an Apple Watch or AirPod case. So in general, after going all over the specs, it's safe to say that the iPhone is a better device generally. I'll put that out there. But for the price, you get more bang for your buck on the Blue Phone, and it's really, really impressive for the specs that it has at the price point. And let's just point out a few things that it actually does have better things, better features than the iPhone, such as it has dual SIM cards capability, and this phone comes fully unlocked. So you get right out of the box for less than $300. You get an unlocked phone, and you can put 2 SIM card slots and have no problems. This is very, very flexible. A lot of people can play with this, and if they have multiple SIM cards, multiple carriers, if you travel, this is a game changer. It's been around for a while, but for people that aren't used to this, this is very, very nice. Versus the iPhone, which only relies on eSIM, that's a hindrance on a lot of people. You can't easily switch as you can with a physical SIM card slot. So it's factory unlocked on the Blue Phone, and you get 2 of them, and you can use them at the same time. Next surprising better feature on the Blue Phone, it has a 120 hertz refresh rate, which the iPhone still is stuck at 60 hertz. That is a feature that is reserved for the iPhone Pro, so that's $1,000 you need to pay for that price, but it's found on the Blue Phone. You also get the bigger screen size on the Bold N3, so that's a good plus right there if you want to watch content and just generally see a lot more on the Blue Phone than the iPhone. One factor that's just blows the iPhone out of the water is its internal storage. The Blue Phone is 256 gigs of storage, so you're getting some really, really good spec right there. The iPhone is 128 gigs. It's the more expensive device. It's just, you simply cannot beat having double the storage on the iPhone. For the unlocking of the device, some people still prefer a fingerprint reader, and this one has under the display, so that's pretty good at this price, having that feature there. The iPhone has Face ID, which works well, but some people still prefer having that physical fingerprint reader on the device. And the most impressive feature that sticks out has to be the 66 watt wired charging. So that's a very important feature, is battery life. The iPhone has decent battery life, but the Blue Phone blows it out of the water. It has a big battery, but if you do need to charge it, you can get 1 to 100%, zero from dead to 100% in 39 minutes. That's crazy fast. Basically, you're never going to run out of power with this phone. With the iPhone, yeah, you might make it most of the day, but for sure, the Blue Phone, this is like a crazy, crazy feature, and it's at such a low price. So this is probably the feature that stands out the most. And I've gotten very spoiled by fast charging. So yeah, this is a feature that you quickly get used to, and you don't have to run out of battery on your phone. So there are a lot of reasons to get the Blue Phone over the iPhone. There's some features that make it a better phone than the iPhone 15. For the price that you're paying And also simply it just has features that are just not found on iPhones or other Android phones for that matter. It's factory unlocked, the Blue phone. It has dual SIM right out of the box. You know, it's factory unlocked. It has the fast charging, bigger battery, and it has that 120 hertz refresh rate. There are some downsides to it. You're not going to get any software updates at all, and performance might be iffy. You're not going to be able to run super hardcore games or hardcore apps. That's not going to be in there. The camera's going to be decent. You know, the iPhone is that hands down has the best camera system around. But for all those features, you're paying, you know, a very low price, and it's very surprising. You know, the iPhone 15 is getting harder and harder to justify that price. It's just a no-brainer when you wanna, and when you put in dollars and cents, the Blue phone does have features that are better than the iPhone 15. So that's been my comparison of the Blu Bold N3 versus the iPhone 15.